Right, okay, this is just to reiterate what we did in the tutorial the other day. Here's a spreadsheet we eventually produced with the information copied from the Jenny Ridgwell export table and categorised according to these categories. Also got a pie chart for the Eatwell plate and a pie chart showing what is actually in the diet that we've analysed there, and also a comparison. Now I've set this up on one worksheet, but I've also set up another worksheet which is blank. All this is in Blackboard, which you can use to import your data. It's always a good idea when you're using spreadsheets. If we go on setup, copy it, if you right click on there and move and copy and create another worksheet, and just use that to work on while leaving the original one unharmed, as it were. This is where we're going to eventually paste in the information from Jenny Ridgwell. I bound it in a black box because the information, when the formula is used, where are we? There it is, that one there, for example. It looks from row 19 down to row 46. So if you have anything after row 46, it won't be counted in the system. If you've got more than there is there, all you need to do is just go in here, select where you want, just right click and insert. Shift cells down, and it's giving you a little bit more space. And if we look over here, we'll see the formulas automatically rechanged. If you know about Excel, you can do this by hand, of course. So this is what we're going to use. So we'll go back to Jenny Ridgwell. Okay, so here we are in Jenny Ridgwell. Just a reminder that if the food you use doesn't come up, you can always perhaps produce it by using my recipes. It may be also worthwhile perhaps contacting Jenny Ridgwell if you have the nutritional information. They've certainly added stuff to me in the past. But for the moment, we want to export some data from one of the diets in this sample. So there's a number of diets here. So we'll have a look at Stephen down at the bottom, since it's got a few different things in it. Right, so we'll go to this. Okay, so this is the information for Stephen for Monday. Click on that drop-down box, it'll give you the information for the other days. Now, since Jenny Ridgwell doesn't export into Excel format, I'm afraid we're going to have to do this manually. So I've selected them. I'm going to go to right click and copy. Now we're going to the spreadsheet. We don't want to put them in here because we need to do a little bit of cleaning up. I'll click down there and I'll paste. Where are we at? Paste. Just paste normally, and that appears in there. Now we don't really want these two, so I'm just going to delete them. Shift cells left. Right, then we want to copy these two up into the area which will do the calculation. So you can copy or you can cut. I'm going to cut in this case, edit and paste. Right, so it's gone in there. We'll notice the formatting's changed. There is a quick solution to this, and it's quite useful. If you just click in there, an area where we have format, which we actually want, so it's set up with the right border on the cell, it's got the right fonts arranged correctly. Click on Format Painter, then just draw down and just draw across. Right, so we'll notice now, we should notice now, nothing very much has happened yet because we need to give this some information. So again, we need to do this manually. So we're going to fruit and vegetables. We're going to Control C for copy, and then Control V to paste, and immediately start seeing information appear. And now in hummus, what we're going to put hummus under? We'll put it under beans, pulses, and other proteins. So again, Control C, Control V. We're now starting to see information. So at the moment, we've just got two segments because we've only got fruit, vegetables, pulses, eggs, fish, and other protein. Now I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to import some other data from the hypothetical Stephen account. So I'll just pause this for a second. Right, okay. So I've added a group of information covering all the Eatwell plate categories. It's produced a couple more graphs. The Eatwell plate graph, of course, has remained as it is because that's not going to change. But this information here has been used to produce this graph. And the information in this table here is used to produce the comparison of this individual's diet over the time measured with the recommendations of the Eatwell plate. I've done them as pie charts because Eatwell plate is a pie chart type metaphor, but of course you can change these, and many people will say that pie charts aren't a particularly good way of representing data. If you just want to change this, just double click on it and get rid of that. Go to change chart type. Perhaps you might want to use a column, There's lots of columns available. Pick a trusted column there, click on OK. If you want to format it further, there's a variety of different columns you can use. Right, so there we are. Hope that was useful.